This video, we're going to talk more about special right triangles, particularly 30, 60, 90 right triangles. We're going to use these two up here as kind of a template for that, and I'll show you why we have two, and then we're going to try these 5 problems over here. So if one of those looks like what you have on your math assignment that you're stuck on, you can maybe go to that part of the video. I have 2 templates because if I were to kind of take this one and tilt it kind of up a little bit, so it's 30-degree, matches up with this one, they're not going to be the same, right? If I tilt that, this one, the right angle is on the left side. If I tilt this one, it would be on the right side. And so that's why I like to have 2. That way I can sort of tilt both of those, and depending on what type of problem I have, I can sort of imaginatively, I don't know, I'm a math teacher, I can take those and kind of use my imagination to shift them around the right way. All right, now, what we're going to do with these is, in both cases, I want to find the short side. So my 30 degrees is the smallest, right? 30, 60, and 90. The side across from that is the shortest side. I'm going to call both of those x. So this one, and then the side across from that 30, also call that x. If you can find the short side, it's going to be a lot easier to find the other sides. Keep that in mind. You want to find the short side first, when possible. Now, with that, compared to the short side, the hypotenuse is just going to be double. So, for example, if this was 5, my hypotenuse would be 10. Since it's just x, it's ambiguous, my hypotenuse is going to be 2x. All right, and then same thing for this template. If this is x, this is going to be 2x. Now, compared to my short side, the long side, or I should say leg, short leg and long leg, the long leg is going to be x times the square root of 3. And same thing on this one, the long leg across from the 60 degrees is going to be x times the square root of 3. Now that I have those templates, I can apply those to our problems over here. We're trying to find x and y in all of these. All right, let's try the first one. Here I gave you an easy one to start with because we have the short side already. It's always easiest if you have that short side. So let's see, compared to these two, I think if I were to rotate this one all the way around, it would look kind of like that far one over there. So my hypotenuse is going to be double. If this is 5, this is going to be 10. And then the long leg is going to be that 5 times the square root of 3. Once you have that, that problem is done. The next one, here they give you the second easiest part, which is the hypotenuse. Well, if I go back to this previous one, remember the hypotenuse is just double the short side. So if I take this and think what's double, or what can I double to get 20? Well, 10. 10 times 2 is 20. And then once you have the short side, you can go to the long leg and say that 10 from the short side is going to be times the square root of 3, and that is going to be equal to my long leg. All right, and this one, they try to trick us a little bit. They give us the hypotenuse, and I need to just kind of divide this by 2 to get to the short side. Well, 10 square roots of 2, what do you think is half of 10 square roots of 2? Think of the square root of 2 as like a label, like dollars. If this was $10, what would be half of $10? $5. So I'm just going to say 5, not dollars, but 5 square roots of 2. 5 square roots of 2. And now I can take this and take 5 square roots of 2, terrible 5 square roots of 2 times the square root of 3. Remember, we know how to multiply square roots, so this is going to end up being 5 square roots of 6 for my long leg there. All right, save the hardest 2 for last. That's going to be these 2 here. And oops, I need an x and a y on this one. And here they give us the long legs for both. This is tough because the long legs they give us don't have those square roots in it. And so I need to think, how can I go from a long leg back to the short leg? What is the difference between those two? And it's going to be the square root of 3. Well, if I took that long leg and said, what could I do? What math operation could I do to get rid of this and just have an x? Well, I could divide. I can divide by the square root of 3. Those would cancel, and I'm just left with that x, which is what I want. So I'm going to do the same thing here. If I have this 18, of course, those two are kind of matched up the same, right? They look the exact same orientation. So I'm going to take that 18 and divide it by the square root of 3. I talked about this in the 45, 45, 90 video, and that is some teachers let you leave it like that. If that's your teacher, you're done. All right, you can just move on to the next problem. If it's not, if your teacher says we cannot have square roots in the denominator of our fractions, you have to do this extra step, which is called rationalize your denominator, where I take that fraction 18 square roots of 3. To get rid of this square root in the denominator, I'm going to multiply by it over itself. Really, this is just taking it times 1, which doesn't change it, but we can make it look differently. What I'm going to do on the bottom, square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 9, which eventually just becomes 3 without a square root, which is good. There's no longer a square root in the denominator. On the top, remember we multiply fractions, I can just put those next to each other because one's on the outside and one's on the inside to get 18 square roots of 3. And over here, 18 square roots of 3. And now the 18 and the 3, if it was just 18 divided by 3, that'd be 6. So I can make this 6 square roots of 3 because that's still on the top. All right, that's a long way to say that the short side here is going to be 6 square roots of 3. Once you have that short side, it's really easy to go to the other parts. I can just take it times 2 to get to my hypotenuse. Well, 6 square roots of 3 times 2 is 12 square roots of 3. All right, so now I have all 3 sides for that one. Let's do this one a little bit quicker. Same idea. I'm going to go from my long side to the short side, and I have to divide that 10 by the square root of 3. Rationalize my denominator again. Take it times the square root of 3 over itself. And if I think this step, this square root of 9, that becomes 3, I can kind of skip that step and just make this a 3 on the bottom. And the top is going to say stay 10 square roots of 3. Now, does 10 divide by 3 nicely? No, it doesn't. So it has to be left like this. So my short side is going to be 10 square roots of 3 over 3. So kind of ugly, but that's the short side there. And then to go from the short side to the hypotenuse, going to multiply that by 2. Really, you're just taking the top times 2, because if I multiply the whole thing by 2 or 2 over 1, this becomes just 20 square roots of 3 over 3. So a little bit ugly for that last one with those kind of nasty fractions, but really it's kind of less math than we did in the previous one. Hopefully this helped you out, and until next time, keep doing your math homework fast and accurately.